for success in real estate with Frankie Griffin, owner and broker in charge of the Palmetto Success Team, certified residential specialist, accredited buyer representative, military relocation professional, real estate appraiser, and author of Success in Real Estate. If you are interested in buying or selling a home, investing in real estate, or having your home appraised, you will enjoy Success in Real Estate. Now, here's Frankie Griffin.
All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Success in Real Estate. I'm Frankie Griffin, real estate broker in charge and appraiser in South Carolina. And as always, we certainly want to help you with anything you've got going on real estate related. And as always, certainly if you're thinking about buying a house or selling your house, or maybe you'd like to find out the value of your home, you want to get it appraised, give me a call or send me an email and let's get together. I'd love to talk to you about that. You can certainly find all of our information, phone numbers, emails, everything about us on our website. Just go to www.frankiegriffin.com. Again, that's frankiegriffin.com, and we will help you any way we can, for sure. Well, today I want to talk about mostly probably property taxes and some things you may not understand. A lot of it you probably do, but I've got an expert in studio with me, a friend of mine, Todd Feaster. Todd is a real estate appraiser also. In fact, he's a certified general appraisal and former employee of the Lexington County Tax Assessor's Office. And Todd, how we doing today?
Doing fine. How are you?
Well, you're looking good on a chilly day. I know it's kind of early for you to get out.
It is
right now. But you know, and I'm sure you hear the same things I'm hearing. But I find that as soon as we talk about taxes, the phone starts ringing, and
right.
So somebody's fixing to be talking to you already. But yeah, that was a clue for Brian there. You got to wake him up sometimes. But you know, property taxes is something that certainly generates a lot of conversation. And I'll just start off by saying, at least I believe, and you can tell me what you think, but you know, South Carolina has some of the lowest property taxes in the country for residential.
They do.
Real estate.
They do.
Beyond that, and when I say residential, I mean owner-occupied.
Yes. When you're referring to the way the tax code is, property taxes are set up in South Carolina, when you're discussing residential real estate, you should also understand that means owner-occupied.
Yes.
Yes, they're very cheap. There's a lot of offset to save that money for property owners, but the sad part of that is that burden's pushed off on non-owner occupied property.
Yeah, and we're gonna stroke that one here in just a little bit because that's a biggie. But let's go straight to our phone lines and see what Kathy's up to. Kathy, how you doing?
I'm all right, and yourself?
Oh, it's such a fine day today.
So I have a question. So a lot of property valuations took a major hit from about 2008 to about 2010. What are you seeing as far as those recovering?
Well, it looks like values have started to come back. They're coming back pretty well in a bunch of different parts of town. A lot of parts of South Carolina are starting to get back to those 2009 sales that we were seeing. It's not come back as quickly, I think, as people wanted, but really the biggest change now is days on market. It seems like when you see the days on market go down, you know that people are starting to feel a little more confident about the way properties are priced and what they're willing to pay for them.
And what's the best way to find out your valuation?
Well, you can always call your county tax assessor's office and just ask them two questions. One, what do they have your property valued at? And two, what was the effective date of their last valuation? Okay. So you will know if that number was developed a year ago, 2 years ago, or 4 years ago.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Or you can call us and we can come out there and appraise it.
I think she wanted a little quicker answer than that. Or I assumed she did. If you didn't, I'm sorry.
Okay, well, I guess, all right, she's gone. All right, well, go back to these to to the taxes, Todd, back in, I think was it 2006 is when we kind of had a change in the tax law.
Yes.
And what, if you could quickly, I know this could go a while, but how were we being taxed then or prior to 06 and compared to how we're being taxed now? What's the difference here?
Well, the change was actually effective for 2008. Prior to that, we ran on a value-based system for every type property. Value being established by the local county tax assessor and his staff, all licensed or certified appraisers. That process was done every 5 years. County had to go through and revalue everything in the county based on market value. Beginning in 2008, we added a point of sale became referenced in valuation. If you bought your house for $100,000 in 2008, then it went on for $100,000. The houses on either side of you may be on for $90,000. They may be on for $110,000, but your property went on for what you paid for it. So the biggest change that we've seen now is basically there's not as much valuation function as there is just put it on for what they paid for it, which takes away the other part of the equation, which is equalization. You look, the assessor's offices at Lexington County Department of Assessment and Equalization, that equalization being spreading that tax burden.
Well, and here's the issue I sort of have with the whole thing, and then you can tell me if I just need to get a life or whatever, but the law says obviously the state can charge property taxes, but it's my understanding it has to be an ad valorem tax, meaning at value.
Well, that language was changed in 2008 to allow for point of change. Yes.
Okay.
Or point of sale, I'm sorry.
Because obviously the point of sale, or what was that, like Act 388 or something like that?
I believe so, yes.
Because what someone pays for a house, certainly in every situation, is not necessarily representative of its value.
No, it's not. That in and of itself does not indicate value. It creates its own set of problems because your base assessment is fixed if your house does not sell. Your base assessment is fixed on what it was in 2008 and cannot increase more than 15% across any 5-year reassessment cycle period. So in the case that values do come back, to refer to the caller earlier, we start seeing values trend up, you're capped at 15%.
And now, the Mortgage Update with Erica Hill West on Success in Real Estate.
Time for our mortgage update with our mortgage go-to gal, Miss Erica Hill West. How you doing, Miss Erica?
I'm doing well. Yourself, Frankie?
Oh, it's such a beautiful day outside.
It really is.
Finally, I get to pull out my shorts and tank top. Just feels great out there.
Oh, dear.
Well, don't say that too soon. As soon as you say that, we're going to be back in the 30s.
No, it's freezing outside. I believe that wind's blowing at 100 knots.
It is a little chilly.
But anyway, what's going on in finance? Are you seeing a lot of activity?
Yeah, I think that for the first time, probably since 2013, we're seeing a huge opportunity for anybody that has bought since the summer of 2013 till the fall of last year might be eligible to refinance, and it might really, really save them a lot of money.
What, really?
Mm-hmm.
So the rates have dropped some more.
Yeah, and that's it's not just the rate. We talked a little bit last week about how FHA is lowering their monthly MI.
Mm-hmm.
That happened on Monday, and that 50 basis point reduction in a monthly mortgage insurance for people that are in FHA loans is saving tremendous amounts of money.
Yeah,
per
I guess.
month.
Yeah, you know what? I hadn't thought about that. But so are you saying? So if I have an FHA loan now, the only way my MI is going to come down is if I refinance?
That's right.
Really?
Yep.
Wow, I guess I hadn't thought about that. I just assumed it was going to drop everybody's payment across the board. But
No.
So they better be calling you quickly then.
Yes.
Because, that mortgage insurance is very expensive to me. I mean, that's, if you have, say, a $150,000 loan, mortgage insurance, what is that, $130 or something? Or
About that. Well, now it's around, here, I can do the math real quick. It'll be rough math, but it'll be math.
It sounds like my kind of math.
I know. Well,
all mine is rough.
it would be approximately $106. Once with the new PMI, it'd be about 126, and with the old, on 150,000, anybody who bought from 2013 until pretty much up until Monday, closed before that,
right?
They were paying a lot of money.
A lot more.
Let's see. They were paying $62 more a month.
Good. Well, that's a lot. I mean,
that is a lot, and there is an opportunity that a lot of people may have closed at 4.5 or 4.375 or 4.25. So we could probably get you to about 3.875, lower your monthly mortgage insurance, and there's a good chance that we could pay all your closing costs. So there really is a chance for people to save. I mean, people are like, oh, $60 a month. $60 a month times 12 months
is a lot.
About $720 a year. Let's say you're just planning on staying in the house for 7 more years. That is going to save you over $5,000. And I've been encouraging people that want to look at that to take that $60 a month, open up a savings account, put it in there, so that when you go to sell your house, you have $5,000 right there for your next down payment on your new house.
Good point.
So, even if people are like, well, I don't really want to do it because I'm going to move, we're going to move in 5 years or 7 years. Well, let me show you how refinancing and saving this money can help propel you and prepare you for your next purchase.
Well, and it won't cost a dime to call and find out.
That's right.
What we can do, and if I could, I wanted to change gear just a little bit.
Sure.
Because you're a mortgage consultant with Mortgage Network, and does Mortgage Network fall under the requirements of the Home Value Code of Conduct, where you have to order appraisals through the appraisal management company, or can you pick your own appraiser?
We have to order it through the appraisal management company.
And of course, I have Todd Feaster in studio with me, Erica.
Hi, Todd.
Hey.
And we just need to turn Todd's mic on. There we go.
Hey, Erica.
And but is this pretty customary now, where all lenders have to use an AMC or go through the AMC now?
Yes.
Okay, so no matter who they are, everybody has to use an AMC. What is an AMC? Because I know a lot of people don't understand this.
AMC is an appraisal management company, and basically they're paid to maintain a roster of certified, approved appraisers to value properties for their clients being the mortgage lenders. So they were created by the Home Valuation Code of Conduct that came in, and it puts a layer between the lender and the appraiser so that you can be confident that the lender's not leaning on the appraiser to overvalue your property to help them.
And do you like this idea? Now, we've been doing this for quite a while now, so probably nobody's even thinking about it that much. But do you like this idea, Erica, the AMC?
Sometimes it's helpful, and sometimes it is not. Because, like you said, it creates a barrier between the lender and the appraiser. Mm-hmm. So anytime we need a revision or we have a question or something doesn't look right, we have to submit that request through the third-party appraisal company, the appraisal management company. Mm-hmm. Then they submit it to the appraiser, and then we have to wait for a response back to them. Then they have to respond to us. So sometimes I feel it creates a little bit of a time delay in some things, but besides that, I haven't really noticed that much of a difference.
Okay. Well, and I mean, it is what it is, and I certainly understand the concept there, where it does take a little bit of pressure off the appraiser when the lender, and not that this was a routine thing, but in some cases, lenders could put some pressure on the appraiser to go back and relook this thing.
Oh, there was a lot of that going on in the Wild West days, the late 90s, early 2000s. There was a lot of that going on, and you'd go out to appraise a piece of property and see two other guys, because the lender went ahead and hired 3 appraisers so he could use whoever came back the highest. So
Right.
That happened more than I would care to really discuss back then.
Yeah.
But we fixed all that now.
We're in good shape. Well, Eric, I tell you, that's exciting news about the FHA mortgage insurance being lower. Now, is it worth looking into if you have a conventional loan and paying PMI? Would it be worth looking at refinancing FHA with the lower MI, or would that make much difference there?
It may be. It just depends on what you're currently paying, what kind of equity you have in the property. I think right now there's just a whole slew of people out there that may really benefit from refinancing, and they don't even know it.
For a lot of different reasons, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I can't thank you enough for calling in, but how can we get in touch with you?
You can reach me on my cell phone, 803-528-5019. You can email me at ewest@mortgagenetwork.com, or you can find me on Facebook. Search for the Mortgage Go-To Gal.
Awesome, and highly encourage you to go check out our Facebook page, Mortgage Go-To Gal. A lot of information there. Eric, I hope you have a great weekend, my dear.
You too. Thanks, Frankie.
All righty. You take care. There's some Fannie Mae changes out there that have affected sort of how we do
Very
things.
much. The uniform, it's called the Uniform Collateral Data Portal. Basically, all appraisals that are done for federally related transactions will be stored in this portal. And this software is what the website says, is going to go through and compare your opinion of 123 Oak Street that you used as a comparable versus the next appraisal that comes in that uses 123 Oak Street as a comparable. It's going to compare the information that both of you appraisers have entered, and in the case that there's conflicting information, somebody's going to have to fix something. That when Erica was talking earlier about the AMCs adding some lag time in there when they're asking for clarification on something that the appraiser's done, UDCP is going to do it. It's going to be even worse, I think, until it works itself out. Now, it's not the end of the world, and I think it's a good idea. I'm not saying the sky's falling. I'm just saying that's something that you're going to be hearing a lot about in the next few.
If you ever need to get in touch with me or you need some help with any kind of real estate need, please get in touch with me. Again, go to my website, www.frankiegriffin.com. Again, it's just frankiegriffin.com. And there you'll find all my information, cell phones, email, whatever you need. Love to help you any way I can. Well, let's go straight to the phone lines right now, where I think we got, what is that, Patrick? How you doing, Patrick?
Hey, Frankie, how are you?
Oh, such a fine day today.
Good.
What's up with you?
Well, I'm in class at the Real Estate for Success School right now, and had a question about the square footage. You were talking about determining the square footage of houses on your show, and I was wondering, what's the best way to determine? I know you can go on the Richland County, but when you get there, you said go measure it yourself. Do you think you should use like a laser measure, or do you prefer a tape measure? What do you prefer to use to get that,
that's a good one,
exact
Todd.
square footage?
They have some very advanced laser measuring tools that I'm probably not smart enough to use, honestly. But just using a regular 100-foot tape, you should be able to measure the 4 sides. If you've got more than one story and the second story doesn't match the first story, it can get a little complicated. But
Right.
But really, the biggest thing to keep in mind are areas that are under roof that aren't necessarily considered heated area. If you've got a room over the garage, at any point in that room, in the width of that room, that the ceiling's not at least 5 feet above the ground, none of that can be counted as heated living area.
All right.
So, that's another rule of thumb when you're walking in a room over garage, is to kind of notice where your shoulder meets the roof line, and if there's still floor area underneath that, it cannot be counted. It's not functional. It's not considered usable and not counted as heated living area. Basement areas you won't see on any of your square footages that are reported on county websites. Basement square footage is carried and valued differently. That's another thing that I can think of that would be missing. And another one is enclosed garages. People will enclose a garage and do a great job of it, and it should be counted as heated living area. Some people enclose them and don't do such a great job at it, and those just they're not of enough of the quality to make it worth considering it as heated living area.
Well, great. Thank you so much for the info.
No problem.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you for calling.
All right. Thanks.
Thank you, Patrick. All right, and one thing I just want to point out for everybody listening, whether you're a real estate agent or not, I know a lot of real estate agents have up their policies that say we don't measure houses, for example, and we rely on the tax records and so forth. But a couple things I'll just point out. One, I've noticed, Todd, on a lot of your assessor's website, county sites, they'll have on the home page there. In fact, several of them I seen there, it's highlighted, where it'll say all information on this site should not be used and relied upon by real estate agents for the purpose of what they're using it for. That's a clue to me.
Yeah, it is
right there.
It is. There's a liability issue there.
Yeah.
Between what the county's trying to report to you is the basis for your tax bill. They're not trying to do your real estate agent's job for them.
Right.
So don't expect them to. That's unfair. It's unfair for you to expect them to do that. Verify their information.
Right. They
want to be right as much as you want them to be right.
Yep.
Give them the opportunity. Go down and talk to them. And see what they've got.
And that's sort of where I wanted to sort of finish this off with this is, the license law for real estate agents requires that all information that's reported or provided must be verified.
Be verified.
There's only one way I know of to verify square footage.
Yeah.
Somebody's only one way. Pull that tape.
Somebody's got to walk around the house.
Somebody's got to do it. So, I know that a lot of agents will put in there what the square footage is and square footage per the tax records or per the building plans and per some
if square footage is reported, please measure.
Yeah.
They love to put that in there.
Oh my goodness. Look, if you're selling your house or buying a house, put your agent to work. You're paying them well.
Right.
Tell them to go measure the house, because that's the value is based in large by square footage analysis. And it helps a lot to actually know what the square footage is.
Well, it does, and if I would assure you, if Andy Owen got stuck in a situation where a realtor misreported square footage and someone bought or sold, the buyer and seller are insulated from that. Mm-hmm. All of this is going to the agent. All that liability and responsibility is going directly to the agent. Why they wouldn't care to at least make sure that their quantity, that their pricing is correct, is beyond me.
And it's not hard.
No.
It's just not hard.
It's not hard.
And in fact, I tell students in the classroom, it's similar. It's kind of like learning how to ride a bike. That first time you get on the bike, it might seem hard.
Sure, you can't run out and do it by yourself. Get somebody to show you how. Get an appraiser. Get an experienced agent that's done it before to help you do it. Mm-hmm. It's more valuable a skill than I realized. I didn't realize how many people just refuse to do it.
Yeah, and
I shouldn't say people. I mean, not general people.
Right.
People in the industry.
Right. The ones that should be doing it.
The ones that should be doing it. Right.
Well, hopefully, we need to make sure it's an accurate square footage, because if you are doing an appraisal on a property, obviously we're gonna measure that subject, but we don't measure the comparables.
No.
And so we have to rely on what's in the MLS in terms of what the agent reported, and And if it's not accurate, then it's going to have an adverse effect on
Sure.
the property we're appraising.
Sure. How do we know what that buyer bought? In appraisal, we're just replicating the actions of buyers and sellers in the market.
Right.
If we don't know what the buyer bought, how can we properly analyze that?
Yeah. And another, while I'm on a roll here, and again, I'm speaking primarily to realtors and real estate agents right now, but when you sell a house or close a deal, as the listing agent, you have to go into the MLS and close it out. Please answer all the questions and provide the information like closing cost and who paid them.
CC.
Yeah.
NA.
Yeah.
Or just blank.
Yeah.
We have to, by the way, agents, we have to report that. We have to put that in the report, that the field for closing costs in the local MLS was left blank. We have to write a whole sentence about the fact that we could not come to that information in the course of normal business.
Yeah. And maybe we should start putting the name of the agent in there and say, well, this agent left this blank.
Well, once the Uniform Data Collateral portal will get started, maybe that'll...
Oh, goodness. But it is important information. So, it might take another 15 to 20 seconds to enter it in there and close it out. But it's information we all need, not just appraisers, but as realtors, if we're looking at the right things, we need to know this because, if that seller paid $4,000 in closing costs for the buyer, then that's an adjustment that has to be made.
Absolutely.
And I don't think a lot of agents realize that or take that into account.
No, if they don't want it out there, they're not going to put it out there.
All right, well, our time's up, and I can't thank you enough for listening to our show today. Hope you have a great weekend. Please be safe. You've been listening to Success in Real Estate on the Point.